Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Makar HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. Shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wa'akwa. And what I want to get into is just, something that's just really been on my mind. Always on my mind, really, but I just wanted to, I got a couple scriptures here, being out in the world, dealing with certain things with neighbors and stuff, the state of our people, all right? And I'm honing in on particularly the so-called black man, all right? Because, a lot of so-called young black boys are raised up in these matriarchs. They haven't been around good men, whether it be an uncle, a father, a big brother, whoever it may be. They wasn't raised up by good men to show them the way. Now, and don't even think about, men of the Lord, raising up the majority of our young brothers. But, I just, you just look at them and it's just sad. And we are very blessed, a lot of us brothers, to have good fathers or even good parents, period, to just teach us manners, show us good, right things, how to respect adults, and that's good parenting is priceless, man. You can't put a price tag on that. You know what I'm saying? But in particular with the so-called black man, let me get this. Jeremiah 2 and verse 21 says, "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine." Okay? So the Lord planted us to be men of nobility. All right? Men of nobility. And to be noble, you have to be taught to be noble. All right? It starts from somewhere. The condition of our young black men is, number one, due to the curses, to our disobedience, all right, not being noble, and it's bad parenting, and particularly whether it's no father in the home or a bad father in the home. And it's only so far that the woman can take the boy before she can't take him far, in most cases, all right? Not saying every single mother is a bad parent. You got good single moms out here. Not saying, it's not successful, so-called black men that has came out of, single parent where the mother, no, I'm not saying that, but the majority, absolutely not. And this is why when you drive in our communities, you see what you see. Don't nobody want to live there. These other nations don't want to live with us. And we not, not saying, we should be just mixing with them, but, when you have a good neighborhood per se, other nations will flow into it. They will want to be in that area, and they don't want to be around niggas, point blank, period. And that's due to, number one, the curses, number two, bad parenting, bad upbringing, all right, what's been pushed to us, systemic racism, systemic, the system being against us. And this is no excuse, but these are things that have made our communities what they are. It says, "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, holy a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" And when you get into a degenerate plant, it gets worse and worse. That's why, so-called black man in the 20s, he dressed a certain way, acted a certain way. The 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, all the way to now. And if you took young men from the 1920s, so-called young black men from the 20s, and you put them up against the young black men now, it'll be like night and day. All right? Night and day. Yeah, the so-called black man now will have more opportunity. They will be better technologically, but far as really doing manly things, and no, it will be night and day. Because I think back to a time where my grandfather, he knew how to work on cars, he knew how to work on the homes and things of that nature. Certain things I still don't know how to do to this day. He knew how to do, all right? And he was born in the 1930s. Me being born in the 1980s, all right? So it's almost a 50-year gap, okay? And it's a difference. But I did have, good parents, a good father in the house for some time. before my father passed, who was, he was a good father, never in jail, things of that nature. Showed me manly things, okay? But a lot of our young, so-called black boys, they don't have this, man, and this is why they're lacking. They're lacking, okay? So now I want to get, let me get this. We're going to go to Isaiah 51. All right, so when you read Isaiah 51 and verse 20, it says, thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. Yeah, when you come into the so-called black community, what do you see? You see older black men. You see younger black men. Where they at? On the corners, at the corner stores, sprawled out, selling drugs. All right, just out there dangling. All right, this is what it means. They're at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. Yeah, they are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. Yeah, so when you see our young men pants sagging, croc wearing, poo shiesty mask wearing, throwing gang signs, all on the corners, hanging out. And I mean, Jakes, we like to chill out, I know what it is, but it's a difference between hanging and chilling and then just being on the block every day, all day, up to no good. We know majority of us come from the hood, all right? And we know what it is. We know how it goes down. You see the older men, they might be chilling, corner store, begging for change, sprawled out, psycho babbling. This is the condition. This is the condition of the majority of our people, man. Okay? Yeah, we have the LeBron Jameses and they sellouts, all right? You got the acts of entertainment, and you even have the middle class Jake, working class. You have, low millionaire Jake. But then when you ride in the majority of the so-called black community, what do you see? You see these things, all right? You see these things, all right? Jake lying at the head of all the streets like a wild bull out there into mischief, all right? Again, selling drugs, gang banging, all right? And whatever else they into, man, all right? And it's just, man, it's just, man, the curses really did a number on us. That's all I'm going to say. And let's go back to it. Because the Lord told us, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15, it says what? But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. And this is the reason why our young black, so-called black men are in the condition they are. They are in, all right? To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And they have certainly came upon us and overtaken us. All you got to do is ride through the hood. All you got to do is do it. All you got to do is get on the metro in your prospective city, and you'll see Jake under them curses, man. Okay? And that's all you got to do is ride a metro long enough. You in New York or Atlanta or one of these cities with a train, ride the train. Ride it a certain distance, especially if you go past the so-called black communities. You're going to see the curses on our people, man. Jake on the train doing any and everything, arguing, psycho babbling, just being a menace. Okay? When you jump down to verse 54, and this is the reason, brothers and sisters, especially if you knew, this is why we're in the condition we in. It says Deuteronomy 28 and 54, so that the man that is tender among you, we're not tender amongst brothers unless we know each other. It's for a long time, and even then, all right, brothers don't have respect. Somebody might bump you. You look at Jake for 2 seconds, he ready to shoot you, ready to fight you. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. And that's what we see, and that's what we get. Look at hip hop. It's always what? Rap beefs. Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, 50, Rick Ross, this, that. Now before it was kind of more innocent, but because that's just Jake, competition, but people actually die from these things. All right, King Von and this guy. I mean, I was watching a documentary about Chicago, like over there, O Block, Chicago, and all you just kept hearing is this person killed that person, then that person retaliated, then that person retaliated, then that person killed. You heard that like 30, 40 times, where it was just like, wow, it was just like back to back. So we already know that, when you're dealing with Jake, the man, you can't even look at him for 2 seconds without him, like, what that nigga looking at. That's a part of the curses, man. Hip hop. Instead of brothers coming together, and certain brothers do come together and, merge cliques, and then they have record labels, but a lot of times it's only so long before they start beefing, man. It's only so long, man. All right, I can go into a lot of the hip hop beefs. We all know them, all right, because it's plastered, okay, and we grew up in hip hop, and it's fueled with beef, man. And that's because what? The eye is evil towards our brothers, man. All right. The average so-called black man will take your life quick, especially these little young cats that's been raised up in the matriarch again. They are very emotional. They quick triggered, quick tempered, ready to kill for little stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is the condition, man, because what? Of our disobedience. All right. Let me get this. When you go to Isaiah 59, verse 1, it says, behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear, but your iniquities have separated between you and your power. So it's due to our iniquities, sin upon sin upon sin. This is the reason for the separation of the Heavenly Father. That's why it was a big thing what Yahushua did through the spirit and power of the Heavenly Father. All right. Because he reconciled us, he's the intercessor. All right. Without Yahushua, we would just constantly be doomed, man. So it says, but your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. Right. So the Lord we could have never been in captivity or never had curses put on, but it's due to our obedience. It's all the Lord's plan. All right. It's all for his plan, but our iniquities have separated us, and that's why when you go through a so-called black community, who is there? The so-called black man terrorizing the neighborhood, mainly the youngins. Because once a man get older, he might have kids, he might have certain different responsibilities, he might get out the way. But you even got older Jakes, they be there. The ones that don't learn. They either sprawled out on the corner, alcoholic, on some type of drug, or they still into that gang banging. They still doing young shit, man. Some older Jakes, they still into young shit, man. They 40, 50 years old, still gang banging, still into, certain things, man. They just more experienced at it. They just got some little young cats under their wings now. But yeah, it's because of our iniquities. Now, when you go down to, starting at verse 7, it says, their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Yup, this is our people, man, especially the so-called black man. And now the so-called black woman is participating because she hasn't been guided as well, and she's very masculine now. She sleep with all these dudes, and all these spirits is in her, so she's masculine, all right? Because her mother taught her to be masculine and the son to be more feminine. All right. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. Yeah, you be around these little young wild Jakes, man, and they very, very intelligent how to scam. You got some called scammers. They know how to hit licks and do this and do all of this and all. But when it comes to the word, they don't know. All right. When it comes to changing brakes and how to get into certain things with carpentry, they don't know these things, man. They don't know manly things. But when it comes to evil things, they all in. If you want to know how to scam somebody, you want to know how to do this and bust down a gun and have this and do this and how to do this with the dope and all of that. They know about all that shit, man. It says, verse 8, the way of peace, they know the way of peace, they know not. Yeah. When you in our communities, what you hear? Gunshots, ambulances, Eve yelling and cussing and all of this, niggas fighting. And it's not peaceful, especially if you live in some of these apartment complexes. All right? You live in the projects or something like that. Man, it's not peaceful, man. That's why the first thing Jay do is he move out the hood. The way of peace they know not. And there is no judgment in their goings, yup. Again, they don't know, how to build certain things. And I'm not talking about every so-called young black boy or black man. No, but the majority. They don't know how to change oil. They ain't wide. They don't want to get into arts and crafts and reading and doing this and studying the word. They don't want to get into those things. They want to get into how to be the biggest dope boy, how to be the best rapper, how to be the same old, the next LeBron or whoever. Nothing wrong with playing basketball and all that, but I'm just saying, y'all know what I mean. It says, they have made them crooked paths, whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. Yeah. So if you follow these little young niggas, because we was all under the influence of hip hop, man. All right. And brothers and sisters still listen to rap songs from time to time, but it's like we was all under that influence of wanting to be the biggest dope boy at some point in our life, wanting to be the best rapper or actor or, because that's what we seen. That's who was getting the money. That's who was idolized in our communities. The dope boy, the weed man, the rapper, the hooper, not the mechanic or the electrician or they wasn't valued, even though they have the most value. You know how much value a carpenter have, a construction worker have, a electrician, a mechanic. Okay, these are the people that help infrastructure. All right, a plumber. They ain't idolized. But then you got, little TJ down the street. He basically control the block. He idolized. He get all the women. He driving the Benzes and the Beamers. So he idolized, man. But he killing the community. He got the goons under him. They terrorizing the community. They robbing anything that ain't nailed down. This is the condition of our people. And it's due to disobedience, man. And, man, I just, this year, I'm not even going to lie. I'm tired of niggas. Well, this is 2025 now. But I'm pretty sure it ain't going to change. But that so-called New Year, we know this ain't the real New Year. Okay, but according to the Gregorian calendar, 2024, I have never been so tired of niggas as I was, 2024. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to change in 2025. It's more than likely going to ramp up. But, this was just something on my mind, Lord willing. It's edifying to the next lesson. Shalom.